All right, let's dive into something that's a little unsettling, but honestly, it's completely fascinating. We're going to talk about the idea that your most treasured memories, well, they might not be as solid as you think. We're going to break down the science of how your memory actually works and how it can be messed with. Seriously, think about it for a second. That super vivid memory of a family vacation or that fight you had last year, are you absolutely 100% positive every single detail is right? This question is at the very heart of what we're talking about today. And the answer, well, it might just change how you see your own past. Most of us walk around thinking our memory is like a perfect recording device, right? Like a video camera. But decades of research, a lot of it pioneered by a psychologist named Dr. Elizabeth Loftus, shows us a totally different picture. The reality is our memory isn't a playback at all. It's a reconstruction. Every single time you remember something, you're actually rebuilding it, and that leaves it pretty vulnerable. And that's really the fundamental point here. Dr. Loftus's work completely turned this popular idea of memory on its head. The truth is, it's way more dynamic and, frankly, a lot more fragile than we think. And this quote from Dr. Loftus just nails it. See, once an experience is in your head, it's not locked away in some mental vault. It's more like a living document, one that can be edited. New information, stuff you hear later, questions people ask you, things you see on the news, it can all seep in and contaminate, distort, or even completely change the original memory. And the craziest part? You might not even realize it's happening. So, okay, if our memories are this flexible, how exactly does this contamination happen out in the real world? Well, researchers have pinpointed three major ways our memories can be powerfully influenced. First step, post-event discussion. So imagine two people witness a car accident. One of them is sure they saw a red car. The other person isn't so sure. But if the first witness says, wow, that red car was flying, the second person might later remember a red car too. They basically just traded details. Second, you've got biased interrogations. A detective asking, did you see the knife? Already implies there was a knife, which can subtly pressure a witness to create a memory of one. And finally, and this one is huge today, media coverage. For any big public event, the constant loop of news and social media can easily overwrite what we actually saw with our own eyes. Now, what's really wild is that this isn't just a theory stuck in a psychology lab. This research actually ignited a massive societal controversy back in the 1990s. It was famously known as the Memory Wars, and the stakes were incredibly high. So here's how it all went down. In the late 80s and early 90s, some people in therapy started to recover these absolutely horrific memories of childhood abuse, memories they had no idea they even had. The theory was that these memories were repressed. But then Dr. Loftus's work comes along, and it offers a completely different and pretty explosive possibility, that under the power of suggestion, people could create entirely new, very rich and detailed false memories that felt 100% real. And the fallout? It was just devastating. People sued their parents, families were literally torn apart, and lives were ruined. All of it based on memories that felt intensely real to the person, but were scientifically, controversial. It just showed how critical it is to understand the difference between a recovered memory and a constructed one. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. What if this ability to change memories, this mind technology as some people call it, what if it wasn't just a weakness? What if it could actually be used for good? I know, it sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but the research is actually really compelling. Scientists started to wonder if they could use these false memories to nudge people toward healthier choices. Get this. In some studies, researchers actually planted false memories, like telling participants that they got really sick after eating pickles or drinking vodka when they were younger. And the result? Later on, those people wanted nothing to do with them. And they did the reverse, too. They implanted a warm, fuzzy memory about loving asparagus as a kid, and sure enough, people started wanting to eat more asparagus. It's an incredibly powerful tool, and a bit ethically complicated for sure. So hearing all this, you might be thinking, okay, is there anything we can actually do to protect our own memories? And while we can't be on guard all the time, the good news is yes, there are techniques to help strengthen our recall and make it a little more reliable. Dr. Loftus herself uses this really powerful ancient technique called the method of loci. You might have heard it called a memory palace. The whole idea is to use your spatial memory, which our brains are amazing at, to organize and remember information. And here's how it works. It's actually pretty simple. First, just pick a place, inside and out, like your house, okay? Got it pictured? Step 2, you mentally place the information you want to remember in specific spots. So for a TED Talk, Dr. Loftus put the name Steve Titus right at her front door. And then to remember it, you just take a mental walk through your house, and boom, you see each piece of information exactly where you left it.
So look, the whole point of this isn't to make us all paranoid about our own minds. It's really about empowerment. It's like Dr. Loftus says, science is that candle in the dark. It shines a light on our vulnerabilities, not to scare us, but to help us build a more just and better world, whether that's improving the legal system or maybe even helping us eat our vegetables.
So I'll just leave you with this thought. The next time you remember something with absolute, total certainty, just take a second. And remember that what feels like a perfect video recording is actually a creative act of reconstruction. And just knowing that, well, that's the first step to truly understanding the incredible and, yes, fallible human mind.